everybody. I'm just going to really quickly show you how to do a Google Calendar embed into your Google site. There are a lot of different ways to do this. You can create your own Google Calendar, but I'm going to use mine and base it out of my Google Classroom so I don't have to do more work later. And it'll kind of make sense as I go through it. If you know how to do this on your own, by all means, completely disregard me. Open up a browser real quick and navigate to a Google Classroom. I'm going to use Google Classroom to start with the calendar just because whenever I create an assignment to Google Classroom, I'm planning on using it a lot, those assignments will automatically copy to that calendar and that calendar will be live updating all the time. So I feel like it's just one less thing you have to manage if you do it this way. It's more work up front, but it'll be easier overall. So I'm just going to log in real quick. My RB Schools account and my password. Once I've logged into my Google Classroom, let's get rid of the extra tab. I created a testing one. So I'm going to show you what to do in a testing one. You're going to have your own Google Classroom. I'm sure you've named something for your online environment. I'm going to use this test one just so I don't have to duplicate or mess things up. Here's my testing one. And let's imagine like I was going to create a assignment. So I'll go to classwork, create an assignment, test assignment due on Wednesday. So I'm gonna go through, set a due date for Wednesday, and we're just doing this as an example. So that way you could see, let's put 9 a.m. So you can see what happens. Assign. So I don't really need, you will be adding topics. Like this is not a Google Classroom kind of tutorial, so please, if you're going to use Google Classroom, you can do better than this. I want to really quickly just show you. So we're going to stream, we have this assignment that's going to be due. From here, you can go to your Google Classroom, hit Classwork tab, and you can hit this link here and it will take you to Google Calendar, which will open in a new tab, and you're gonna have a whole mess of calendars. If you've been working for Rocky View for a while and maybe in different schools or different environments, this might be a really long list. So what I like to do is find the one I'm looking for. That's my testing one here, whatever I've named it. And I'm gonna hit the 3 dots next to it and display this only. I'm only gonna see this. That way I can add and edit just this calendar and see what's going on. What's happening here is you can already see in my September month on Wednesday the 9th, this test assignment that I've created. I can click it, it will pull up a little text box that goes over the details, what I've typed in the text box, what's going on, what time it's due. You can also edit from here, delete, or email the guests. I want you to remember, you're only editing the calendar event. If you hit this, you will not be editing the classroom assignment here. So it's just the calendar event. Let's say I wanted to add, so on Friday we're gonna have a Spirit Day, just double click, Spirit Day. This is an all day event. I could pick a color, maybe I want all my Spirit Days to be yellow. It doesn't really matter, the colors are just for you and for aesthetics. Add location, not needed. Put what calendar it's going into, the testing calendar, that's the one I'm using right now. Our class will be having a Spirit Day today. Please wear a hat. Save. So right now we've got 2 items in our calendar. And it's good that we have a 2 there so you can kind of see what's happening. When we're in our calendar now, we're going to need to change the settings. So the first thing we're going to do is go into the settings here. And we are changing the settings for this calendar here. So I'm going to click, the testing calendar here, excuse me. So I'm going to my testing calendar and going to the calendar settings. You can kind of ignore all of this except right here. You're going to need to make available to the public. So that means all the items on your calendar will be available to see. Okay, make available to public. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one right there. So once that's ready, you'll hit get a shareable link. You can copy the link. Now I'll navigate to my Google Drive and go to my Google site. I've created a test site, copied one of the grade 1 templates. That's what I'm using just for an example. So I'm into the back end of my site. the Miraculous Grade 1 site. And let's say I wanted to have my calendar right on the homepage. Let's say this right here. Instead of the school calendar, I'm going to say our class calendar. Here is our class calendar. Please click each item for more information. If you are confused by anything on the calendar, please contact Mr. Fong at your convenience. And I'm just going to resize this box to make room for the calendar. Let's make it about yay big. There. When I'm adding the calendar, you can do a couple different ways. I can go right here, click calendar, and select my testing calendar, the one I'm using, and hit insert. I'm going to prop it into a box here. I can click and drag it into the section I wanted. When you look at the calendar, you're going to see a gear icon. So I've clicked the calendar, there's a gear. You're going to tap that. I want to show the title, Testing RVS Online, show the date. One of the things that came up very commonly, if I added here I can actually show you right now. Right here, if you look at the calendar, it says 2:59 p.m. assignment, test assignment. That's the one we created, and we actually set the due date, the time, for 9 a.m. That is not correct at all. So what's happening is the time zone is wrong. We're going to need to set use viewer's time zone. And you can see right there it's fixed. It's 9 a.m., 8:59 a.m. What you're also going to want to do is choose between agenda, if you like an agenda view, a week view, or a month view. Okay, so there. I actually prefer personally the week view, but it's really up to you. And once you're there, don't freak out if you try to scroll in this box right now. It is not a live version. Okay, so I'm scrolling up and down and nothing's happening, left and right, nothing's happening. It's just a visual marker. It's a, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a word here. A preview, there we go. A preview of what you're gonna see. If you want to actually see what it looks like, you click the preview button. And now you can actually click the buttons and move through the calendar. Our calendar, we said we had a Wednesday, 9 a.m. assignment, and Spirit Day all day on Friday. You can click the items, it'll bring up a little text box with the information that you gave. Hopefully that helps out for you. Again, there's another way to add a calendar where you could just say, click a placeholder, click the plus sign, and calendar here, and select it from the drop downs. Testing is what I used. Let's say, well, let's get rid of this first. Let's say you wanted to add another item to the calendar. You would have to navigate back to your Google Calendar. So let's actually do it from scratch. Let's say I wanted to go and add an item to my calendar. I'm going to go to the Google Suite. Luckily, I'm already logged in. Google Apps. Go to Calendar. Make sure I pick the one I want. Display this only, because sometimes this is crazy. New event here. And I'll make this one blue. Save. There, so I've got my new event here. Now we can go back and double check to make sure it is updating properly in the Google site. All day event, new event here. That's perfect. So if you run into problems, the problems will likely be this box here does not update. You've added it properly, you're sure you've got the right calendar, and nothing inside here shows, it's going to be a privacy setting. So if you go back to your calendar, the Google Calendar, that's where we are, Google Calendar, and I'm going to go to my settings for my calendar, settings and sharing, for just this one here. It will most likely be that you have not made it public. If it's not available to the public, it will not link to your Google site. All right, so that should give you an overview of what's going on there. Hopefully that helps out. If you have any questions, reach out to your team leads. They'll be able to really get you going and troubleshoot for you. Thanks.